Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and to another early access look at one of the upcoming DLCs in Train Sim World 5, and of course this is London Overground, the Mildmay Line, which is coming out tomorrow, the 4th of March. This is a route by Incredible Trains, the one-man developer, and I'm sure when you're going to have a look at it, if this is the first time you're looking at it, because there was the dovetail string, but this is the first time you're looking at it, you're gonna think, wow, you know, this guy's done a very, very good job to say he's been working on his own. And I understand that this route has been in development since April of 2024, so it's took him quite a while to get this out. We're going to talk a little bit more about it once we get into it, but as I usually do with an early access, first of all I want to say thanks to Dovetail for sending this over as part of the DTG Ambassador Program. Always very thankful to them. Also, bear in mind that this is the Ambassador's build, so this is a dev build, so what you see in this build may not be the final result once it releases on Tuesday. So that's the admin out of the way. Let's have a look what the Overground Mildmay Line is all about. It was also known, until they started renaming them, as the North London Lines, of course. So the Mildmay Line enjoyed the north of London, ranging from the Olympic Park in Stratford via the iconic Camden district to Willesden Junction. So this portion of the route is Stratford to Willesden Junction. The real Northern Lines obviously goes a little bit further, but that's the section that we've got, which is about 12 miles. You can see from the stats there, I've actually run the route once here on the PC, so we're going to do that again, but we're going to have a look first what comes with it. So training modules, there is a route introduction, and in the training centre there is also a guide to driving the 378, but many of you, if you're familiar with the Electra stars, you'll be familiar with how the 378 actually runs, but there is a training module there for it. Scenarios, we've got 5 of those, ranging in all sort of different lengths to full moves, things with engineering works. We've got a special Christmas one with Christmas music. I've played that one on the PS5 actually, it's quite interesting, and that one's in heavy snow. Bit depressing playing that in March when we're so far away from Christmas, so you might want to save that one, but it's there if you want it. So yeah, so there's 5 of those. And then as far as services goes, so you might need some layers for this. So the 378 itself, 668 services ranging in different lengths, which we'll see shortly. Then the class 710, which is coming in from the Suffragette line, that layers in. I don't think you get that as a standard one, so just keep that in mind. There's a couple of services in there, different lengths. There's only a couple that are decent length, as you can see there. The others are much shorter. Then also layering in from other DLCs. You don't get this, I believe, with the DLC. There are 27 services for the class 66, and you can see by now just how many different types of 66 I've got. If we just pick one, I don't know, let's pick the DRS one. You can see the length of services we've got. Camden Road to Stratford, Stratford to Camden Road, and this one, which includes a 45-minute wait at Camden Road East Junction. That's interesting. You go make yourself a cup of tea while you play that one if you're a completionist. There's also, let me go back to the main menu. There is, of course, the usual journey mode. If we have a quick look at this, we've got Conquest of the Capital. Take on the role of a 378 driver and experience everything the London Overground Mildmay Line from Stratford to Willesden Junction has to offer. Navigate busy urban routes, manage complex junctions, and enjoy the diverse scenery of one of London's key rail corridors. There's 19 items within the rail journeys, as you can see. Learning the line, that's where you can get, if you wanted to do it this way, you can get through to the tutorial for the 378. Gold Rush to Stratford, Camden Crossroads, and Feeling the Frost, which are icy conditions. So I'd recommend doing that. I would recommend going through the journey mode as a way to experience all the different conditions and different weathers, etc. Always quite an interesting way to do it, but the choice is absolutely yours, of course. We've got 100 collectibles. the usual types of things. Defibrillators, posters, we've got newspaper stands, and we've got fire extinguishers. So if that's your thing, or if you want to collect the achievements or trophies, then you can go ahead and do that. We're going to take the 378 out on a full run for this little first look, and I'm going to go down to when it's a bit more daylight. There's one at 9:16 that I saw earlier. There's the one I did before. I did Stratford to Richmond. We're going to do exactly the same, but we'll do it a little bit later. It is 9:16, so this one 45 minutes. I'm going to move the weather from March, as we usually do. We'll put it as August. We'll take the dynamic weather off, and we'll get started, shall we? So I hope you're all excited for this. Once again, back in the UK with a DLC. I think the last one we got was the West Coast Main Line, Preston to Carlisle, which was November now. Can you believe it? November. Doesn't it seem like ages ago now? Which it is, really. Right, let's get the doors unlocked. So first, we'll put the master key on. Then we should go to neutral, first of all. Unlock the doors now. We'll have a look outside very shortly, but first of all, let's do the lights into day running. There we go. Now, safety systems are over here. You can't do them from the seat. It doesn't quite reach. You can probably do it from the keyboard if you're using a keyboard on PC or console, but if you come over here, if you turn the vigilance to normal, DSD, I think that is it. It should. Oh, AWS. Of course, the AWS. There you go. Just cancel that. Right, we're ready to go. We've got a minute, so shall we go and have a quick look outside the 378? The level of detail, by the way, in the route is awesome. You've all this road traffic as well, making it feel that much, little bit more like London. These are all, I think those are all TfL buses as well. They've got the logos on the side, which is quite good. You've got various other stock leaving. That's the Elizabeth line stock going out, which are 710s done up in the Elizabeth line. I would encourage you to get out on foot as well once you play this DLC. Go and have a look round. There's the Docklands Light Railway over there, as you can see. There's just lots to see, especially at this end. You can explore this station. You can go up, down, round, through the tunnels. You can have a look at what this lady's reading about in her newspaper. Peak Forest. Oh, now I've gone under the platform. Yeah, she's reading about the Peak Forest. All looks very interesting. Right, doors. Oops. Took it out of forwards there. Right, Hackney Wick is our next stop. So it's combined power and brake handle, which is fairly straightforward. So nothing to worry about there from a driving perspective. And Hackney Wick's in 0.9 of a mile. So we'll do a bit of staying in the cab and going outside so you can have a look what's going on. But first of all, let's have the horn. There we go. Really love the livery of this. Nice bright colours. Right. Let's make our way around to Hackney Wick. If we have a quick look at the schedule, we've got Hackney Wick, Homerton, Hackney Central, Dalston, Kingsland, Canonbury, Highbury and Islington, Caledonian Road and Barnsbury, Camden Road, Kentish Town, Gospel Oak, you know that one, Hampstead Heath, Finchley Road and Frognall, West Hampstead, Bronsby, Bronsby Park, Kensal Rise, Willesden Junction, which is where we leave the service. Now, if you play the TSC version, it goes beyond Willesden Junction, and I did play it last week actually, just to refamiliarise myself with the routes before this came out, and I did go beyond Willesden Junction. I know a few of you have said, why is it not going further? Let's just be hopeful for an extension in future, because it was a nice bit of the route, I've got to tell you. But as always, the TSW version looks much more prettier than the TSC version. So let's be thankful for now that this is coming out, and there's so many possibilities, isn't there? If you just look at the route map, we've already got this one linking up with the suffragette line. So if you own the suffragette line, you could route hop. There's also the possibility of getting more overground lines in the future as well, isn't there? Which is quite exciting. I've said it before, I would much rather have the overground lines than the underground lines. That's just my personal choice, but I know a lot of you do like the underground. There's just more to see with the overground. But we're approaching Hackney Wick, so as per usual we get to test the brakes. So let's do that. We'll try and stay on time as well, because it's quite a busy timetable with all those services going on. We'll take a quick look around each station as we get to it as well. There we are, speeding on the way in. Should have been 25 at the start of the platform. It's fine. What you'll notice as well is a lot more passenger variety. So they're doing a few more different things than we've seen before as well. So we'll try and catch them on that. Wow, that's a decent step, isn't it, off the platform? But yeah, this is Hackney Central. So you see, you know, we've got couples cuddling now. This guy's having an ice cream. I don't blame him. It's August, it's quite warm. We've got people with the trolley bags. There's one of the collectibles, of course, the defibrillator. We've got people on laptops. We've got people on DTG iPads. Other tablets are available. We've got people, you know, just on the phone, just checking Facebook, whatever it is they're doing. So you'll see a little bit more variety in the passengers, which is quite good. Right, let's accelerate out and you can have a listen. As we make our way to Homerton. Very easy to speed. There's a lot of speed changes. It's going to be quite a challenge to do hoodless, I would say, initially, if that's your kind of thing. You know me, I don't really do hoodless. If you want the real experience, then yeah. Let's just give them a warning. If you wanted the real experience, then yeah, do it hoodless. But you know, I prefer to have this minimal hood on. I wasn't a fan of the old hood, the big dial in the bottom right hand corner. I think it used to take up too much of the screen when you were driving. But now with the minimal hood, I think this is a very good balance actually. We need to be there in 25 seconds, you know. So let's speed up. You will see a few issues in this that are known. So you see here, you get some clipping at various points of the bushes through the cab. They're all small things. So this one's going to clip, I think. There you go. They're known issues. They could be fixed for the release build. I'm not sure. If not, I'm sure they'll come, you know, straight after. We usually do get a patch, don't we, not long after these things come out for things that people are reporting that weren't spotted. That's one of them. But this is Homerton. We've got 3 stages of brake, by the way, before the emergency comes on. Because the timetable's busy, you can see we've got a lot of traffic passing us as well, which is great. Regularly already. We've only had a couple of stops. There's been something coming past us every few minutes, which is quite nice to see. Yeah, do go walking around the stations though, because generally you can get out of the stations and you can get out to the station entrances down at road level as well. So, you know, even if you're just, you know, you mainly usually drive the train, do go and take a look, because a lot of detail has been put into that. I've spent quite a bit of time exploring this weekend, so we're on PC today, but I have had access on the PS5 as well, and so I've mainly been sat on the settee with my feet up, exploring, going around, getting collectibles, looking at the stations, just seeing what it is, what it's all about, and just really spending some time to just see what's been put together. I've got to be honest with you, I'm quite impressed with this one. Everyone's like, oh, you know, it's only 12 miles and blah blah blah. It's 12 miles though, of very decent quality, as I'm sure you'll find when you get your hands on it. The level of detail when a line like this is going through the centre of built up areas is amazing. You know, the work required. He's been working on this since April last year. I mean, I don't know how many hours in that time he's had to spend on it week to week, but I tell you what, he must have had to spend quite a bit of time on it. He's done a great job. Slight overshoot on this one, as the guy taking the selfie on the platform has probably got us in the background going straight through, but we've stopped before the signal, so we're fine. Everyone just ignore this door. Can we close this individual door? We probably can. Don't want anyone coming out of there. We don't really want anyone coming out of there either, but this guy's oblivious. He's going to miss his train. Are those locked? You can hear the bushes moving. That's creepy. We did have a collectible, didn't we? On the goblin line, there were little goblins or whatever they were that we had to collect for the goblin line, and that made the bushes kind of make that noise. But we don't have that on this one. Right, Dalston Kingsland is next. This is the faster end of the line. It becomes a little bit more stop-starty further up as we make our way towards Willesden, and the speeds are a little bit slower, as you'll see. We saw the Class 66 has got a few services. I haven't tried it yet. I've not tried the 66 at the time of recording this video. I will do so before the release on Tuesday. And see what that's about. I'll make sure I don't try the one that's got a 45-minute wait, because we can't speed that up. And we won't get any points for that either, so there's no points for waiting. Yeah, but this is Dalston Kingsland. We'll try and do a better stop this time, shall we? Some of the platforms are much shorter than the others, so, you know, route learning again is going to be key on this one. But that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. There we go. Get the doors open. Yeah, so this is Dalston Kingsland, so Canonbury will be next. And then Highbury and Islington, where you could change for the Victoria line if you wanted to. I'm just looking at the map as I go, and I'm just looking around. There's connections at Caledonian Road for the Piccadilly line, Camden Road, the Northern line, Gospel Oak, as we mentioned, the Suffragette line. If you go to Finchley Road and Frognall, as we are doing, the Metropolitan line, you can get there. West Hampstead, you can get the Jubilee line. And then, of course, when you get to Willesden Junction, the Bakerloo and the Lioness line, which we've got both of those, haven't we, already? So, there's some possibilities. At Stratford as well, where we started, you've got the Central, the Jubilee, the DLR, and you've got the Elizabeth line. You've also got Stratford railway station as well. So, there's a chance here to build up the London network. That's what I'm quite excited about. Obviously, nothing's been said about that, but I, for one, would quite enjoy that. Right, Canonbury. Couple of minutes to get to Canonbury. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what you think about this. And of course, are you going to pick it up? this might be your sort of second time you've seen it if you've watched the DTG stream, but I'm always interested to know whether you would pick it up or not. So when we do these first looks on the early access, we just play it as if we're just playing it. Do you know what I mean? I kind of show you what's available, but we just play it and see how it is. It's not an attempt to sell it to you or anything like that. That's the important thing. It's really just demoing it a little bit earlier than you'll get your hands on it. And you can have a chance to drop some comments to me under the video afterwards, and just if there's anything you need to know, if I can answer it, I will definitely do that ahead of the actual public release. Going to assume the release times, by the way, on Tuesday are the usual ones. The consoles will get it in the morning, and then PC, Steam and Epic will be in the afternoon sometime. Usually late afternoon, isn't it? Canonbury. Let's see what's going on. The feet are in the air. I know that's been reported. That's definitely been reported. I've seen that. See, people are just a little bit higher than they should. I think that's fairly straightforward to fix, as I understand it. What else can we look at? There's people talking on the phones. Oh, there's a 66 coming through, look. Nice. It looks like the aggregate trains as well. The aggregate wagons on the back. So you will need to own that for that to layer in that way. That won't just appear on its own if you've only got this DLC. So just just keep that in mind. Highbury and Islington is where we're off to next. I think we've got 18 stations on the whole route from memory. We're attempting to stay on time, but as always, as I'm showing it to you, I'm not that worried. I'm not doing it for the career aspect or anything like that, although you can see already we've got 3,640 action points just for coming this far. If action points and leveling up is your thing. One thing that they acknowledged that was being looked at, just thinking about the passengers, one thing they acknowledged that they were looking at on the Dovetail stream last week was passengers getting on and off the train, because you'll see here there's not a lot going on there, and that was a core issue that they're looking at, as I understand it from watching the DTG stream. Matt was saying there's some core issue that needs a quick fix, so hopefully that's done by tomorrow when it releases, but I can't promise that because I don't have any information on it. But if you're just wondering why people are not getting on and off, again, it's an acknowledged error, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But yeah, from an immersion perspective, people not getting on and off isn't great, is it? Right, Caledonian Road and Bournemouth. Just looking at the route map, which I've got to the right on my other screen, looks like we're about halfway through, I would say, at this point. I don't know, actually, on this run, whether we'll see the 710. We saw the 710, obviously, the Elizabethan line, 710s at Stratford. I don't know if we will see, I can't remember the timings, but I don't know if we'll see any of the Goblin line 710s coming past us. We could see some at Gospel Oak on the other platform, of course. But I don't know if we'll see any of those other layered in services that we saw in the timetable. Not sure what time of day those were, so let's open the doors here. Got that guy train spotting. I always try and look what it is they're taking a picture of. Maybe he spotted something over here that I can't see. Maybe he's a bird watcher or something and he spotted something over there. Not sure. Not sure. Got plenty of people on board, which is nice to see. Quite nice interior, aren't they, these? I tell you what I was amazed about, and I can't remember the exact statistic. But I saw somewhere you can get over, on one of these, you can get over 1,000, it's about 1,100 passengers on one of these. Is that correct? That's a lot of people. I don't know if it's a certain number of cars that you could get over 1,000 people on, but I saw that and I thought, wow, that's like crazy. I've just unlocked the doors again because I'm not concentrating. In fact, we don't need to close the doors yet because look how early we are. Let's open them again. Let's leave them open for a bit. Yeah, so I mean, seating wise, I don't know how many we can get seated. But standing, you can imagine you can get a lot of people in here because look, you don't have the, the sort of central part here between the cars. It's not blocked off, so you could potentially, you can hang on there. There's handles here. You can pack quite a few people in. But they're always well done. These, with the maps up here and everything. We've got the Windrush line, of course, going from Highbury and Islington to West Croydon. Is the Windrush line going to come? I hope so. I'm just looking actually where that Windrush line is. Let me have a quick look. Highbury and Islington. It mentions the Victoria line. I'm looking at the route map. It doesn't mention the Windrush line on the route map, which is a shame. I'm going to get the doors closed properly this time. And we're going to set off very shortly. For Camden Road, I believe. Look at the reflections as well. If I just look in the doors, can you see the reflection of the signs? All that attention to detail, really nice. Really, really nice. We got these telling us, the information systems telling us where it is we're off to as well. They're all working as they should do.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
And on the platforms themselves, we've got a similar thing. You can see that we are on time. We should be. I've been opening and shutting the doors like it's going out of fashion. I don't know how we got really early, unless this is a kind of reset point. If you were going to be late, they give you a couple of minutes here just to adjust the timetable. Not sure. But anyway, we can get off to Camden Road, which is what we're going to do. We're all ready to go. So let's get up to 40 miles per hour while we can. Sounds of the train are good as well. I know AP did a deal to get the sounds over because the AP team in TS Classic did a 378 enhancement pack for the TS Classic version quite recently. I haven't got that, but I can tell you the standard 378 in TS Classic, the sound's awful, awful. So I'm glad for this version they've got the AP sounds, because as we know from experience, just give them a toot on the left. We know from experience AP generally know what they're doing with the sounds, don't they? To say it at its very least. So it's nice that the AP sounds are in for this 378. If it sounds any different though, and you're used to the 378, let me know, because I've no experience with the 378. I don't know if I've been on the 378. I have been on this line but many years ago. I doubt whether it was a 378 quite back then. Let's get down to 20, shall we? There we go. So, as I always do, I always ask you guys who are local to these lines to let me know what you think. Because a lot of us will play this and the other DLCs and we just take it for granted that it's how it should be. If you've no experience of it, you wouldn't know any different. But, yeah. Let me know. Right, so this is Camden Road. What I like about these DLCs is things like this. So as you are looking down the platform, the unused part of the platform, you know, there's bits of weeds and, you know, it looks very old. You know, the texture's very old in some places, and there's trash everywhere, junk, you name it. It looks like it should. You see, it's worn. It's all worn out. I love that aspect of it. You can see the city as well. I think very shortly you'll be able to see the BT Tower in the distance as well. Possibly when we get past this junction. We're going off to the right hand side here at this junction. The junction has got a name, but I can't remember what it's called. But freight trains, I believe, go off to the left here. And we go off to the right. And we're off to Kentish Town, which I think is a great name. It's like if you can't quite afford to go to Kent, you can go to this place because it's a bit Kentish, if you know what I mean. It's Kentish Town. It's a bit like Kent. You wouldn't know the difference. It always makes me chuckle. It's Kentish. It's a bit Kentish. Kentish Town West. That's where we're going. So again, there's a lot of detail going on either side of the track. A lot of buildings to look at. And again, if you're from this area, is this kind of a you know, decent representation of what is either side of the track, buildings wise? Because it's kind of, I've given that commentary about Blackpool branches and the West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle because I do know what, you know, pretty well, for the most part of those two routes, what the scenery is like. Because me living in Preston, I know exactly that area, and I was able to tell you that even on the West Coast Main Line Preston to Carlisle, which is based in the 80s, it was a very excellent representation of what the area looked like back then. Same with Blackpool. So, you know, let me know. Is this what it's like? When someone tells me that, I always feel a lot better as well. I think, oh, well, they've done a great job. I mean, I'm sure, you know, Johannes from Incredible Trains, who's developed this, he was saying on the preview stream that he lived, I think, I don't know if it's a year or 2 years, he lived sort of in this area while he was studying. And so, oh, there's the BT Tower. It's behind us, not in front of us. I'm going the wrong direction, but there it is. Yeah, he said he lived in this area and he's travelled on here quite a bit. So, you know, obviously, it should be as it should be. You know, it should be a fair representation of what it actually looks like. And of course, you know, the way that these routes are built as well, where, you know, you can overlay the surrounding area onto the route. I think I saw them doing that. I have no experience of the editor, but I think when we got the Isle of Wight route, I watched a development video by Rivet Games where they were overlaying Google Earth and they were kind of, you know, mapping in where the buildings were, etc. on the. I found it fascinating. It was quite technical, but I found it fascinating. So I mean, if Johannes has done all this himself, then, you know, hats off to him. There's a lot of buildings to put in. Not just the route, there's a lot of surrounding buildings to put in, and, you know, just getting it to seem accurate is But it seems like from the stream, he's got quite a passion for these overground lines. That's why I'm hopeful that if this one goes down very well, he'll create the next one. He may have already started. We don't know. But it wouldn't it be nice to get the network built up, wouldn't it? Right, Gospel Oak. You know this station if you've got the suffragette line. So we'll have a quick look at Gospel Oak. Got the brakes on. Don't see a 710, but we might pass a 710 as we leave. So we'll just get the doors on. Have a quick fly around. So this is what you'll be familiar with. This is where the Gospel Oak, sorry, the suffragette line ends for us in the other DLC. So you know the station. He was saying in the preview stream, he was able to lift and shift the station for Gospel Oak because it was already built, which will have saved him some time. However, you know we don't go any further. Oh, here's a 710 right on cue. Look, that's nice. I'm just going to close the doors while we're doing this. There's a 710 coming up the suffragette line. He was able to lift and shift, which has probably, you know, saved him some time. But you know, I've always wondered what's ahead of this port, and now we get to see it. We get to see some of it anyway. We get to see it as far as Willesden Junction. So that was Gospel Oak. Hampstead Heath is next. We do have a 20 out of here, which we need to respect. So we've got Hampstead Heath, Finchley Road and Frognall, West Hampstead, Bronsbury, Bronsbury Park, Kensal Rise, and finally Willesden Junction. Hampstead Heath is coming up in 800 yards, so not far at all. We got the sign there to beware the leaves on the line. Slow down a bit, we're not at the 45 quite yet. %1 gradient, which is it's quite steep, that, isn't it? I think we were up to like 1.3, 1.4 earlier in the run. But let's speed up a little bit. You can, by the way, one thing I didn't mention, you can, by the way, interact with the view screen as well in various ways. I don't think... I haven't seen it, but I don't believe there is a manual for this route. Which is a shame. So I think as far as working that screen goes, you'll just have a play around with it and see what it does. They did demonstrate it briefly on the preview stream, if you want to go back and have a look at that. Have a quick look at it now. Date, time, destination. The route isn't showing up there. But if we look at driver config, dark screen, driver's menu. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a look what this actually does. I don't know if it's visual only or whether it actually... Oh, you can disable different doors. Look, wonder if that works. It's clickable. I don't know if that works. You can also do cameras, etc. Yeah, we'll have to have a play with that, I think. Event overview. Nice. Well, we will have a play with that at some point and just explore. Let's get off to Finchley Road and Frognall. These are interesting, aren't they? I presume these are to stop the thing collapsing. I presume the supports to stop the thing collapsing. I don't know what risk it is of collapsing, but it makes a lot of sense when you've got all that earth either side pushing in. Right, let's get through the tunnel. So, keep in mind all this time as well, the route is 12 miles. But I don't know what you guys think, but I can't tell it's 12 miles because of the stops. It seems a lot longer and we're not even there yet. Does that make sense? It kind of lulls you into thinking the route is a lot longer. But it's quite a pleasant drive as well, one end to the other. It's quite relaxing. We just need those passengers fixing. Getting on and off. But you can believe this is a summer's morning. And I'm going to overshoot this one really badly. Oh my word, let's put it in emergency and we'll see what we do with the emergency shower. Because we've got way over. Some of you will love that on the channel. So we'll open the doors. The back end is in. That's all. And I think for an emergency we just need to come out of it. But I don't think we can do it until the doors are closed. So once the doors are closed, we'll see. I think it's just a case of taking the brakes off. I don't think we have to wait for any period. But testing the emergency brake is not a bad thing. Albeit forced. Right, so let's just see. So the combined handle is in emergency. It won't let me take it out. So do I need to... what do I need to do to reset it? Have we got an emergency somewhere on here that we need to pop back out? Is it on this side? Is it this one? Emergency stop. We need to put that out. Is that going to let us? Or do we pop it back out again? Let's have a look. Maybe we need to wait for a period of time. Should we put it back in neutral? And see what happens. This is why you need a manual, you see. Is it going to make me wait? I can't get that out of emergency, you see. Oh, there we go. Now it's doing it. Right, let's put that in forwards. Reset it. There we go. Try it again. There. I accelerated before the brake was completely off. So I'm going to just do that again, right? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to put it in emergency. And I'm not going to do anything this time. I don't think I needed to press this. Right, so we're in emergency now. Oh, this time it's letting me just step through it. So I need to go to off. So it's letting me do that. Let's just see if we need to wait a period. There, it comes off on its own. You see that? There's the brake dial. So basically, just take the handle off and just wait for it a few seconds. It looked like it was about 20 seconds. Between 10 and 20 seconds before it came off. So that's fine. So emergency brake, no problem. We're going to make ourselves late now. That's 2 emergency brakes, but it's fine. We've proved we can get out of it quite easily and the service doesn't have to end. But this is West Hampstead. This is a shorter platform again. I'm going to have a look. I don't think the back of the train can be in, can it, in this platform? Pull right up to there, up to the stop marker.
See anything suspicious?
It is in just. It seemed, yeah, it seemed not long enough that, but yeah, it's in, as you can see. And look where the don't walk sort of section is, the upturned egg boxes. Probably looking at that, I should have gone forward slightly more. Looking at where that is, yeah, I probably could have gone a couple of feet more, and then people can get out. But look, I probably should have gone to about there. There's the stop board. So yeah, I was a little bit away from it, but it's fine. It's a game of inches. It is. Right, Bronsbury is next. We're due there in 10 seconds, so I think we've had that, to be honest. But to say we did 2 emergency stops, and the first one we didn't know how to get out of it, is not too bad. We're not that far behind, considering. $300 to go. Here's the platform. Start early this time. Probably gone slightly too far this time, but no, we're pretty good because, you know, people can get off there. Unlock the doors, it says. There we go. Oh, wow, that's a step and a half, that though, isn't it? Talk about please mind the gap. That's a big gap. If you need the wheelchair ramp, it'd be more like going across a bridge, wouldn't it? To get on there. Like how the doors fold like in between the 2 sections of the unit itself. There's like an internal section where they slide into, rather than sliding on the outside. It's quite neat. I think it's the same on the 710, isn't it? If I remember correctly. I'm not normally a fan of the stop-start routes. I have to say, you know, I like a good long run, usually, is my, you know, sort of preference. But these overground ones, I really quite like. They've got something about them. I always say, if you're playing one of these DLCs, for me, it needs to feel like you're doing a job. You're doing something purposeful. The immersion gets you to where you feel that the run that you're doing is an important one. You're not just doing it and going through the motions. You're actually, it's like you're doing the job. And these ones do feel like that, I've got to say. So, you know, I'm quite happy with this one. The 378 looks good. The level of detail is excellent. There's a few things here and there that need brushing up on. There always is. That's, you know, that's come to be expected. But there's nothing show-stopping. And that's the main thing. So I think if you do pick this one up, you're in for a treat, to be honest. Like I said, on the PS5, I've not played on the PC much, but on the PS5, I must have run 10 or more services and done a couple of the scenarios. And I thoroughly enjoyed it, to be fair. And once again, I'm not trying to sell it to you. You have to base your decision on what it is you see. But I'm not, you know, I'm not covering anything up here. I'm just playing it as you would play it. Although you're probably a lot better at playing it than I am. Let's be fair. But yeah, it has to be your own decision. But I think looking at it, you must be. If you're not impressed with it, let me know. I'm interested to know why, what it is about it. And I don't mean if this kind of route is just not your thing. That's understandable. It has to be your thing. You're not going to buy it. But if you were looking forward to it and now suddenly you're disappointed, I know about the route length as well. But from what we've got, based on what we've actually got, what do you think about it? And there's the emergency brake again that I just went into by accident. See, there's bits of distant scenery there, like where the road ends, and the road is a little bit higher than these houses. There's little bits like that you can see there. He's not going to get through his front door there, is he? But generally, you know, if you're just driving, you're not always going to see all that kind of stuff. It's better to have the development time on what's going on around, right close to the train. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Right, Willesden Junction, this is our last stop. It's in a mile's time. We've got a minute and 20 to get there. And that will be us done for the first look. Downhill on this section and a double yellow. Got a couple of 378s here just parked, looks like. A little bit of a siding there. I can't say what that siding's called. It will have a name. It doesn't appear on the route map though. It's probably actually on the real map. We've got a 20 coming up. Single yellow. The red is right at the end of the platform. So the map, by the way, I should have showed you this earlier. This Willesden Junction here, you can have a good explore around there, but we come all the way down here to Stratford, as you can see. Lots of things crisscrossing here and there, lots of traffic you can see along the way. Quite a bit of variety. And lots of playable services. Willesden Junction looks quite a new station, doesn't it? But you can see all the traffic from the West Coast Main Line South, Bakerloo, underground stock. If you own all these, they'll all appear at various points whilst you're waiting. So if you want to go train spotting here, it's a good place to do it. There's a Pendolino right on cue. Thank you for that, Pendo. As he makes his way to Preston, we got a 350. I'm just going to open the doors. Now, I couldn't have planned that better. There's me telling you about all the traffic you'll see. There you go. And look, we got another 350 coming in. Oh, it's a 377, is it? I'm just trying to look. It's a Southern 377. Wow. Right on cue. Look at that. Where's the 66? We just need a 66 now. Come on. Give me a 66. It's not going to happen. I'll be asking for too much. But that was quite nice. Because I just this minute mentioned it to you. So yes, that is the Mildmay Line. Tell me what you think. That's what I want to know. Hope you've enjoyed the little early access first look. It will be out tomorrow, as I've mentioned, which will be the 4th of March. Hope you're looking forward to it. Don't forget to leave me a little like. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Please do subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, we got over 17,500 subscribers. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to the members. And take care. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.